Okay, welcome back, everyone. For this hour, we're going to unpack what happened during that big event, Chapter 2, From Shadow to Frost, A Smuggler's Reckoning.
Yeah, we've got the notes, the summaries from people who were right there in the thick of it.
Exactly. It's quite a story, this plunge into darkness, facing down a pretty nasty foe and dealing with the fallout afterwards. It all shapes the world you're in, right?
Definitely. So it kicks off under the sea market.
Right. Down through that flickering brazier, that portal thing, straight into the freezing water and the wreck of the Ararat. Big names led the way: Perky, Krem, Blue, and Brave Folks.
And down there, it wasn't just, an old ship. The place itself felt corrupted.
Yeah, and that corruption had a face. Gale Rex, this captain, but totally transformed.
Twisted into something else. They called him a puppet of the deep, right?
Mm-hmm.
Possessed. And those traits, they noted: hatred, cowardice, falsehood, what is whole? They weren't just words.
No, they were like fundamental to his power, tied into whatever dark force got hold of him. It's kind of fascinating in a grim way.
So they find him. Then what? Obviously, a fight breaks out.
Oh, yeah. And the reports describe it as just intense waves of these frozen horrors, desperate pirates, even ancient terrors crawling out of the woodwork, or rather the shipwreck.
Which really makes you think, how did he fight back? He wasn't just swinging a sword, presumably.
Not at all. He used that corruption. There's this specific line they recorded, really shilling stuff. He shouts, "I call upon the bravado of the sea market, the cowardice of the Lyceum, and chilling winds of deceit."
Whoa.
Yeah. "Come forth, my friend, and show these mortals what a true captain looks like." And bam, this massive frozen terror dragon appears.
So he's literally weaponizing deceit and cowardice.
Nasty.
Super nasty. But even with all that power, the adventurers eventually brought him down.
He was defeated, and his last words were quite something, weren't they?
Yeah, almost.
Sad.
Sad. The helm was never mine. Like maybe a flicker of the real Gale Rex surfaced at the very end.
Maybe. But that defeat, it wasn't freedom for him. That's the crucial part here.
Right, it wasn't over. Not for him. He's cursed. Bound to that wreck. Doomed to be reborn over and over as a champion spawn.
A permanent fixture down there now, like a warning.
Exactly. A grim reminder, as the notes say, of survival at any cost and what that cost can be. It's pretty dark stuff.
So, after that whole ordeal, the survivors head back to the Three Stone Tavern.
And guess who's waiting?
Surveyor John. Alive, which might have been surprise to some.
And apparently very drunk, holding a parchment with the king's seal, no less.
Yeah, typical John, right? Sarcastic, smelling like brine, congratulating them for fixing the mess he arguably helped start.
Huh. Yeah, there's some irony there. But he did have the goods.
He did. That parchment listed the rewards. Some cool stuff, actually. Relics from the deep frost and flame treasures, those king's tokens you can trade.
And that special magical chest they found on the Ararat, too. So not a bad haul for nearly drowning and fighting a possessed horror.
Not bad at all, but it doesn't feel quite finished, does it?
No, definitely not. That brazier portal. Still flickering under the sea market, the path is open.
And Surveyor John, before he passed out apparently, left them with a cryptic line. There's always another tide coming.
Which is kind of the perfect lead-in to the lingering effects, isn't it? Because this whole thing changed people.
For sure. Look at Crumb. Went from just being there, sort of tagging along, to facing real danger, making tough calls, feeling the weight, but also, the glory.
Right. And Perky, still impatient, probably. But the sources say she learned some lessons about consequences. Still chasing that next big fight, though.
Naturally. But Blue's situation seems more unsettling.
Yeah, he's gone quiet. His arm glows faintly. That worm heart he carries is silent. And there's this feeling he got that something old noticed him through that brazier.
Noticed him. Okay, that's ominous.
And now he's out sailing, hearing whispers on the waves.
Mm-hmm.
It really makes you wonder what exactly he connected with down there. What's calling to him?
So this whole chapter, it wasn't just some isolated event. If you were part of it or even heard the stories firsthand, you know it had real impact.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Actions have consequences. Endings become beginnings. It's how these stories unfold in the world.
It shows how the world keeps turning, keeps changing based on what you all do.
And think about that next tide. Gale Rex is down there, trapped in his cycle. Blue's on this strange new path. Surveyor John's hinting at more trouble. The story's definitely not over.
Which leads to the big question, really.
What will that next tide bring? With Gale Rex potentially influencing things from the depths and these whispers calling out, what challenges or maybe opportunities are coming your way?
Something to definitely think about. Thanks for joining us for this look back at Chapter 2. We'll catch you next time.